Hi, teachers. 2 years ago, I was leaving the Institute and I was going to a high school in Logan, Utah to teach seminary. And at that time, the reading requirements were changing. Brother Webb, in a satellite broadcast, shared with all of us the new reading requirements: less chapters to read, more on having the youth set a goal. And then he said this towards the end of the broadcast, and it really hit me hard. Here's what he said.
But what can we do that would bless our students more than to help them create a personal daily habit of Scripture study that is motivated by the right reasons?
So with that in mind, I really felt this pressure of all the things I was going to try to accomplish. This would have been New Testament year. I really wanted the students to develop a habit of reading in the Scriptures each day. Each of you are trying different things. You're setting goals with your students. Some of you are having a really good experience with that. Some of you have shared with me that it's not happening. The students aren't either reading or they just won't set a goal. I just want to throw out as one idea something that I tried that year. And if any of you decide you want to try this, let me know how it goes. I had a really good experience with it, but I also want to start this email where this video is going to be linked as a place where you can reply all and share anything that's going well as far as your reading is concerned that you feel has helped your students to get into the habit of daily reading. So let me just show you what I came up with. I did this tracking card right here. I gave it to the students, and there was a spot here where they could mark their reading every single day of the week. So I had them mark just if they read it all that day. But down here, I also had the required reading where they could check that as they read those chapters. So I wanted them to both read the required reading, but I also wanted to encourage them to get into the habit of reading every single day. So they put their name on the top of this. I introduced this at the start of the semester, and they would mark this every day. Right after the devotional, I would ask them to mark if they read the night before. And then I gave them a minute to share with their neighbor. They would turn and share with each other something they got out of their reading. Now, sometimes a student didn't have anything to share because they didn't read. But I would gather up these tracking cards at the end of every day and just look to see how they were doing on their reading. I could take a yellow sticky note and write a note to them and put it on there. And then when they came back the next day, I had a student that would hand those out and put them on their desk, so they'd be waiting for them when they came back. I decided to try one other thing. I thought, what if I help them be successful in this goal of reading every day, of establishing that habit? And so I started giving them a minute or two before they would turn and share what they read the night before. I would give them a minute or two to read from where they last left off. Or if they didn't read, to just take a minute and read. And at the end of that minute or two, I would just tell them to go ahead and mark that they've read that day, since they did. But then I would give them an opportunity to share. As they were sharing with each other, I would listen in and see if somebody had a really good experience. And then I'd say, hey, do you mind in just a minute sharing that with the whole class? And so when we'd all come back together, I'd have one or two of them share something they got out of their reading from the night before. It was them hearing from their peers how their reading went. And I watched many of the students who weren't reading very much. As the semester went along, they started where they got in that habit of not only reading in class and marking that and feeling this success of, I'm reading my scriptures every day, but then developing that habit at home as well. Once every 3 or 4 weeks, I would have some kind of desk rotation activity in class, and one of the rotations was to come out to me outside of the classroom, and we would visit just for a minute about their reading, and especially the personal goal that they had set, which is right down here. They can set that personal goal. And so I would just encourage them and praise them. And again, notes of thanks that I would put on their tracking card, thanking them for doing such a good job in their reading, continuing to encourage them. And I was amazed by the end of the semester, almost all the students had read all the required reading, and most of them were reading every single day, including in the Saturday and Sunday, which was a good sign that it wasn't just something they were marking because they were in class that day and read, but that they also read outside of class. So this is just one idea. I'll include with this email this tracking card. Somebody who's good with like Canvas or something, Canva could probably make this a lot prettier. But if you do one, please share it with us, and we'll pass it along to everybody. But try this. Let me know if it works, or if you're doing something that's working really well, let me know. But I do agree with Brother Webb that of all the things we're going to accomplish this year in seminary, helping them to develop that habit of daily scripture study will bless them well beyond their years in seminary. And so thanks for your efforts. I look forward to hearing what's going well, and I'll continue to follow up with you on this and see how it's going. Thanks.